I've been very fortunate to travel extensively. My PhD is in comparative religion, and so the topic of God and spirituality is something that has literally consumed my life for decades now. But one of the things that always drives me a little bit crazy is the fact that on one hand we hear pervasively that people have a belief in a higher power, that people know that their belief or feeling for some greater force or energy, for God, actually makes a difference in their life. And then on the other hand, we find all this awkwardness and shame around actually talking about God. If someone goes into the gas station and pays for their gas and they say, "Oh, God bless you," sometimes they get that look like, "Well, what do you mean by God bless me? Who's God? And why are you blessing me?" As if this is only the responsibility of priests and rabbis. You see, the problem with all the stigma and discomfort that people have in talking about God in day-to-day life is that God suddenly becomes more invisible than God already is. It starts to become something that we do in private, and it also starts to become something that maybe we're not even sure we all agree to. And so there's this fertile ground for division, for this sense that maybe my God's different than yours, and maybe our beliefs about God are actually at odds. And yet, when you sit down with people on a day-to-day basis, when you look back through time and read the records of the world's greatest prophets and mystics and seers, what you find is that their ideas of God are actually very similar. There's this sense that God is much more than a person, a man in the sky pushing buttons and answering emails, or some kind of Santa Claus that rewards only some people and not others. What we find is that for most people on this planet, when you ask them what they feel in their hearts, they sense that God is an energy, a life force bigger than any word, any definition, or any religion. And God is just the indicator. So let's not be afraid of that word. Let's start to talk about it and see just how much we share and just how much this mystery is at work in our lives.